we're gonna have a video, a very special video from Echo that is said many of you have been waiting for this, and definitely I've been having.
It's Diablo Immortal's 3-year anniversary, and it's my 9-year anniversary here on YouTube, and I decided I would bring back a very special guest that we've talked about here on the channel so many times, but that we haven't seen in a minute. I'm talking about our friend, Darth Microtransaction. Dude, sheesh. I miss you so much, and I know everyone in my audience does as well. How you doing, man? Great to have you back on the channel. It has been legit years, bro.
What an intro. The super special extra plus ultra guest, 9 years. There's a lot to be said about the intro. First of all, congratulations. 9 years. That's a hell of a long time, dude.
It's a long time, man. I know you're right up there too. How long have you been doing YouTube? It's maybe even longer?
No, not long. You got me beat for sure. It's 7 or 8ish. It's somewhere in that vicinity.
So I'm just gonna make here some context, because obviously if you are a Diablo Immortal creator, you know Echo, one of the largest, Diablo Immortal creators here on the platform, still active, still doing content. Then on the other side, we have Darth Microtransaction. He's now a huge YouTuber covering multiple IRPGs, Path of Exile 2 mainly now. He covered like Diablo 4, but previously he was actually one of the biggest, if not the biggest content creator for Diablo Immortal like 2 or 3 years ago. So if you're new to the, to the scene when it comes to Diablo Immortal, maybe you don't know it, but if you're not new in the ARPG scene, you most likely know Darth Microtransaction. That's why we are watching these, because we are having like these two lovely people talking together, and I'm super invested because, I mean, part of social Andy is going crazy right now.
I don't know the exact year, to be honest with you. I want to say 2017, but...
And I'm still in your shadow, man. You're here less than me, and I'm still in your goddamn shadow.
I don't know about all that.
So what I figured what we do inside of this video is I want to touch on Diablo Immortal. You haven't been inside of the game since you switched over to Diablo 4, which is now turned into a whole, new virtual career path for you. I want to talk about that. And I just want to talk about your life, let everyone kind of know where you're at and what you're doing. Talk about Diablo Immortal a little bit, because it's been 3 years. When did you leave the game? Like at what point in time? What was happening?
Okay, so the last thing that I remember making video on was the Blood Knight coming out.
Yeah.
We went and we tested the Blood Knight, and then, we did the feedback for the Blood Knight, made a video about my experience testing the Blood Knight, and then by the time it was kind of out in the game, I was already covering the next Diablo game.
Yeah, dude. I remember.
So Blood Knight came out around what? It was not last year, because last year was Tempest. So yeah, it was actually 2 years ago. So while he was still testing for the Blood Knight, then Diablo 4 was coming out, and he's created a new channel. He went all in on it. Like, he started covering a lot of news, a lot of guys, and he actually popped off. Like, DM right now actually has over 300 and around like 40,000 subs, man. That's like super impressive. Definitely one of the big boys when it comes to ARPGs. And I actually been following him for since Diablo 4, because I also used to go and play a lot of Diablo 4. I still like the game. I think Diablo 4 it is still a good game, but I mean, also Diablo Immortal, and there is only so much time in the day to play these games.
Remember, you put out a video. I go back to your channel because your videos always performed well. So I'll go back to your channel and I have it, and I'm like, okay, what did he title it? And I remember you titled the Blood Knight something like we played him, or something like that.
I don't remember. Some bullshit title for YouTube as it goes.
I loved it, man. I loved it. But yeah, man. Okay, so we were at Blizzard headquarters.
Low-key, what Echo just said, I also did that, and I also tried that. What I realized along the way, it's this. Sometimes you try to mimic other person's style of thumbnail and titling, and it just doesn't work, because or it doesn't fit your personality, or it just doesn't fit like your content, and just because sometimes something like works really well for the creator, it might actually not work for you. However, it's still worth a try.
Together, I remember that. It was a great time. I think it's the last time that you and I actually got to hang out, which is sad, but we tested out the Blood Knight, which was actually that was the last super hyped time inside of the game when the Blood Knight came out. The game really like came back to another peak. And then...
Yeah, but don't you guys have, like, Diablo in the game already? Like, didn't they bring, like, the actual, you know, like, Diablo in the Diablo game? Isn't he in there now? Surely that had to have been a peak-ish.
That was more recently that Diablo came to the game, and yes, but it was just like... Do you remember Heliquary in the game where you would, like, fight the big bosses? Yeah. It's kind of like a fight like that. Like, it's something similar to that. But yes, you can fight Diablo, which is clutch. And you could actually farm it weekly now. I just did my raid earlier, but it's just like, you know, once you do it, it's done. It's cool. It's definitely cool, but
I think that maybe from a perception of like a player that does not play Diablo Immortal and comes from Diablo 4, they are thinking that probably it's going to be like the fight from Lilith. So Lilith in Diablo 4, at least in the beginning, it was extremely hard. In the fight itself, it is a cool fight. It is a fight that you need some kind of skill to actually go and manage to kill it. Gladly, I managed to kill it. It was actually pretty hard, but I feel like maybe seeing it in these eyes from this perspective, that's gonna take like 4 or 5 minutes to try to kill a boss, even if you have almost best in slot gear. And then, can you guys imagine, like, DM gets into the game for the first time and goes and faces Diablo, and it's like, after 30 seconds, he's dead, and it's like, okay, so this was it. All right, back to Path of Exile, okay?
I guess it was a big moment to bring Diablo into the game, but it wasn't as big as far as, like, spike in viewers and spike in players goes as when the Blood Knight came. But then we had the Tempest, which was a year later, which I don't even think you experienced the Tempest. I know you can't.
No, I didn't. But you know what's funny about that is both those classes got data mined like years ago or something. I remember us talking about that in a video at one point, like the potential classes could be the Blood Knight, whatever. And then I was always like, my money's like the Tempest is not coming because the game was built off the back of like some, you know, martial arts game or something from the East, right? I forgot what it was. It was built off the structure of a different mobile game or whatever. Okay. So when that data mine was there, I always thought it was leftover bits of data from the game that, you know, Diablo was basically like skinned over. So I never thought the Tempest was like a real character, but then it actually came to the game.
This is actually really interesting. Did you guys know about this? That we had some data mine years ago about the Tempest and this reskin. I have no idea about this thing. The Lord of Diablo Immortal.
Yeah, man. And it's actually a great character. I'm playing the class right now. I know you can't see it, but it's on the screen for everyone else to see. It's a really fun class. It's like a monk where you could bounce around.
I think I'm new to the game.
Using waves and water. Cool class. It's one of the strongest right now. But now we have a new class coming. It's been a year since the Tempest, the Tempest did not get as much hype as the Blood Knight. It didn't have that same type of a peak.
Yeah.
Blood Knight's way cooler, but like both in name and theme, I would think.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the Blood Knight's awesome.
Plus you already have a monk.
That's true. But the Tempest is very...
Plus, you already have a monk. This is so true. The water monk meme, it was so hard back then because Tempest was and is, in my opinion, a better class than monk. It is just better designed because it's more modern. But the water monk was so true, man. I feel like if there is two classes they are kind of similar, are definitely these two. Even though when you play them, they play in a different way.
Very different than the monk, but, you know, similar acrobatic type stuff. But now a new one's coming, and it was also data mined by the same guy, data mine ARPG, who now has ghosted everyone again. I don't know where the heck he went, but
he's disappeared like 3 times.
Dude, I know. And this time him and I were building a website together, and he ghosted me in the middle of it. We gotta find the guy. But either way, we think what's coming next is the Druid to the game, which would be really awesome. So I've actually been dicking around a little bit.
No shit, Druid, huh?
Yeah, I think, I mean, it hasn't been confirmed anywhere. There's been like hints in Diablo content.
Yeah, it's pretty confirmed. Let's be honest.
That was what was data mined as well. So I think it's going to be Druid, which is cool. So I've dove into Diablo 4 a little bit on a few streams just to play the Druid to like see, you know, how it is. It seems cool, man. I remember you playing it when you played Diablo 4.
Yeah, it was his main.
Yeah, they're going into season 9 or whatever now. I haven't played in like a couple of seasons. That's a whole nother story, but yeah, that'd be interesting to see if they bring the druid to Immortal.
I hope so, man. I hope so. They don't have to make a new class every single time. Okay, so I want to ask you a question that everyone has been asking, and you may have even answered it in your own video years ago. Sure. But dude, I know why you left Diablo Immortal. And I actually spoke about it in my video yesterday that it was like the best decision for you and how it changed your life completely. But why don't you, out of your own mouth, let everyone know, like, why did you decide to leave Diablo Immortal and go play Diablo 4?
Well, I mean, okay, I don't know if it necessarily was like I'm leaving Immortal as much as like I'm trying to cover Diablo 4. Because like they're both Diablo games. Yeah. So Immortal, it's kind of obvious, right? Like I think a lot of us tried to cover Diablo 4. Like pretty much everyone I knew like made videos on it. And so it's like, okay, you're going to try Diablo 4. And I mean, it's the amount of people that were enjoying that content in the beginning. And to be honest, like how overwhelmingly like nice everyone was in the beginning, you know, and everyone's reacting and being like super supportive and all that just kind of seemed like obvious. Like, okay, this is going really well. Like, why would I not continue? I'm going to quit the newer game.
Reality is Diablo 4 audience has 100 times more viewership, okay? And especially in the beginning of the game, right? So if we go to his channel, to Darth Microtransaction, you're gonna find videos that are performing more than 500,000 views. You know, 500,000 views. That's a lot of views, man. That's almost no, that's actually in one video as many views as I get in 1 month. Like in a super month. And this we're talking just in one video. So obviously, if you go to a game that has a bigger audience and you manage to succeed there, and you have to understand, like 100 more views means almost 100% more, 100 times more cash, you know? So if you're making, let's imagine, okay, I am making, per video $10, and now you're telling me that, okay, now you're gonna start making $1,000 per video, and on top of that, you're gonna have more people on your stream. Not only that, you're gonna have a bigger community. Not only that, people are nice, people support you. Obviously, it is a very easy choice to do it.
Probably not. So I just kept making videos on it, and and I went from game to game and kind of do what I always do, try whatever I'm interested in, and it went pretty well. I will say though, like after now we're like I'm saying going into season 9 or something, like I've come to the conclusion, this is funny enough, but like, okay, minus the resonance and like the pay-to-win system at Immortal's literally the better game. Like between Diablo 4 and Immortal, like Immortal is actually probably a more fun and better designed game and has more.
Darth Microtransaction saying that Diablo Immortal, it is a more fun game than Diablo 4. You know what? As a player myself that I used to play Diablo 4, after I started playing Diablo Immortal, I never came back. I actually never came back. I played a few seasons, like a few days here and there, but, I felt and I found more comfort and enjoyment in Diablo Immortal, even as a free-to-play. And the reality is absolutely is right that the pay-to-win aspect, it is the thing that actually kills Diablo Immortal's reach to become like a godly game. You're gonna always have like die-hard Diablo fans that they will never buy into the pay-to-win. And I just wish that in the future maybe we're gonna have Diablo Immortal 2 without pay-to-win, man. I think that will be awesome. And I feel like we need more games in the mobile platforms to not buy too much into this pay to win. I don't think it's gonna be that way, but I can only wish that.
More in it to actually do than Diablo 4, but has the resonance and like pay to win and stuff like that we've already talked about for years, which is a bummer. But like if you remove that side out of it, like
Record also said
Diablo 4 has less to do, in my opinion, and it comes out with updates slower and less quantity as well as quality. Like I was surprised how well Immortal continued to drop updates over the years. I kept somewhat of a tabs on it. I've been fairly busy, but I've kind of kept somewhat of a tabs on it. So when you're sitting here talking about the updates and what they come, and the guy.
Do you guys think that the DM ever watch any of my videos? He's saying that he's not playing, but he keeps tabs. Obviously, I'm sure like he checks like Echo's videos. But man, this is like an extreme fanboy moment right now for me because, like the same way whenever I started to play, Diablo Immortal, I used to watch, Echo, I used to watch Abo, I used to watch Orati. Now I'm able to actually talk with them, DM with them, speak on and off streams, and it took a while to get that fanboy, thing out of the way. But can you guys imagine? Oh my God. I can't even believe. And probably, I don't even know. I don't even know if it's gonna like me or not. Man, I'm blushing right here, guys.
And Mordo got Diablo before Diablo 4 did. Like, Diablo 4 still doesn't have Diablo in the game, and Mordo got Diablo first. So.
Yeah. I was actually watching Riker's video on the Berserk collab that just came on. Because are you familiar with you're familiar with that came to Diablo 4?
No, I don't watch Berserk the anime, so like I'm not really, I'm probably not the best guy to talk to about the Berserk collab.
Well, either way, I actually watched some of the anime just to kind of like be up to speed on what it was all about. I'm not an big anime guy, but Riker was comparing the Diablo Immortal version to the version that came to Diablo 4, and he was even saying that what we got in Diablo Immortal was so much better than what came to Diablo 4.
Absolutely.
It actually is.
It was a joke.
It's true. It's actually true, and it's not like it's not so much like because the whole D4 bad thing is like just kind of overdone. I'm just like tired of talking about it. But it's the reality is like out of all I covered tons of mobile games like before Immortal. Like Immortal actually is like a pretty solid one. It just had such a bad rep because of everything that we've already talked about for years at this point. But like outside of all of that, like out of a lot of the games I've played and compared to that, it actually like has a pretty solid core. I really kind of missed like the community aspect of it because like one thing that happened was I started playing like PC ARPGs, which are great, and all that. But like SSF is like a huge part of these games, like solo self-found and all that. And you're not really playing with like big groups of people, and there's no PvP, and you don't really have like these plans where like okay, we're gonna work together as the Shadows take down the Immortals or whatever. And so it's like the whole like community vibe of Immortal was a really cool system that I do quite miss because they do have like clans in Diablo 4, but you don't really do anything with them. Part of these are kind of like a 4-player thing. You don't really have these like events, and that's something like that the mobile games always kind of did kind of well. It's like they have like an event, it's like this month this is the event, this month this is the event, and PC ARPGs are great, but like they don't really have like an event a month or something. It's like you have like a wipe, and then people play for like a month after the wipe, and then you wait like 4 months for the next wipe or something. So like these kind of
also on top of that, like they are mainly solo. Like you mainly play these PC games. I came to Diablo Immortal as well with a solo self-found, which is like you create a character, you try to beat the game like with just catching your loot. There is no trading between players. You cannot go to the action house and all these things. So my mindset was also that one. And actually, in the beginning of Diablo Immortal, it kind of made me, be in disadvantage because I didn't know that I had to join to a party to get the normal gems daily. I didn't know how to actually go like into the dungeon. I didn't even know that I had to join the warband to get like the internal weekly crest. And then I also needed like those demonic remains to level up. My first month in Diablo Immortal was like, what am I doing? Like, because, and I lost so much progress because of that. That first month was just like me trying out to game, which is fine. After like a year of now playing the game, I am doing completely fine. But going back to Diablo 4, I mean, Berserker events, it was a bust, man. Like it was so bad. Not only that, they try and they force so hard people to play together in a very weird way. So you have to go, I don't know if they changed nowadays, but the last season I played, you had to farm these multiple items to go and summon the boss. And then you used to be able to rotate between the party, but it was just like so annoying, those rotations. The bosses will just die instantly, and it was absolutely so boring. And once you got the gear, this was the worst part. You get the best in slot gear, and then you have nothing to do. There is no Uber version of the bosses. There was like no deep challenge. There was nothing to do. So I absolutely agree with the DM. Like I feel like in general, if it was not for the bad rep, Diablo Immortal would be, and it is technically a better game, but Diablo 4 still has more players.
Fairly periodic events to kind of keep like the blood flowing, or actually the cadence of releases is something I missed in the genre difference.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, what we were basically talking about there is the difference between like PC model games and mobile model.
Fuzzy, I don't know if you're joking or not, but I would love to have DM on the Immortal cast. I actually, a long time ago, I said to Echo, you know what? If one day you can bring, but this was like 2 or 3 months ago, maybe more. I said, listen, what if we in the future we get get DM to come together, do a video, the 3 of us or even the 2 of us, man, that'll be freaking awesome. It was awesome. And after months, Echo just dropped this bomb, which is, well, we're here. I'm having a blast and I hope you guys too.
Model games. Mobile games need to keep bringing people in with different types of events on a regular basis, while a lot of PC games go with the season model. It's actually cool to hear that, your perspective on that, like that you think Diablo Immortal has so much more to it.
Is that one thing that I like about DM, and I like a lot of YouTubers who left Diablo, was their integrity for the love of the game, not just for the money. I will say this, absolutely, the money aspect has to do a lot whenever you change the games. The amount of money and the financial situation that DM now is, just because is covering these games that have massive audience, that's bringing like thousands of viewers on this Twitch live stream, that has thousands of members and subs, that has thousands or millions of views. It is an absolutely factor that it cannot be ignored. I'm sure like DM still enjoy to play Diablo Immortal. I'm sure that he still enjoy to play Diablo 4, but once you get to a point that, you pay your debts, you got your house or your car and all these things, then you're just like piling in money, then you actually still maybe feel more comfortable. As long as you don't want to fall off, you're more comfortable to play around. Like you have a bigger core audience, that you have more flexibility. Also, if you have a month that you don't do as well, I mean, you got the financial flexibility. And when it comes to Diablo Immortal, I mean, you are on the tight budget, man. You are, because like this game, being honest and being completely transparent, half of the revenue comes from ads, half of the revenue comes from memberships and donations. And this is not reliable because, I mean, imagine if one day my community abandons me, or a month that maybe, shit happens, we don't have as many donations. It's a problem. Like I don't feel like it is up to you guys to even like financially support me or my lifestyle or whatever it is. Now, it's always up to me, and I'm responsible for my own decisions, and I will try to make sure that that's also a big reason why YouTubers, they take also sponsorship deals. It's because, you get this flux of cash that maybe is going to alleviate a bit your financial stress, and then you can enjoy more the content. And sometimes we're talking about maybe doing, a 1 minute ad, and that minute ad on that video maybe is going to bring the same revenue that probably, I will do like in 2 weeks of work. Will be insane. Unfortunately, I'm still not there, but maybe in the future will be. I would say I noticed a lot of YouTubers now for Diablo Immortal. I'm more concerned on how many subscribers and click they get more than the quality of the video. I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, I actually don't know. Like, I can only speak for myself. I don't really care about how many subs you have, because like it literally doesn't fucking matter. Okay, my metric is always this: are people watching? Are people getting value? And are people enjoying the live streams, the videos? Are things going up? If the number is going up, it means like we have more people watching. It means like I'm doing a better job. Like YouTube, in a way, it is a numbers game. And for me, the biggest metric, it's not like the views. It is the average length of the video. So if I do a 10 minutes video, for how long are on average people watch my video? On average, people watch for like 4 or 5 minutes, which is a lot. And it's increasing, and it means like maybe I'm doing something better. Or maybe you guys are more familiar with my content. Either way, that's how I mainly value the quality of the videos. And the quality of the video usually results in more clicks. It results also in more longevity, But also depends on the videos. Like a video of news will pop off, for like 20, 48 hours, and then it's going to drop. It's going to be a dead video. And then you have build guides or guides itself that, you know, they are called evergreen content, more or less evergreen, right? They will be forever on your channel and they will still get views even after months. Let's go back to the video.
Do it. I think that I agree with you, and I haven't played Diablo 4 to the extent of you, of course, but there always does seem like there's tons of stuff to do in Diablo Immortal. Of course, you get to walls in that as well, and then you'll be like, okay, now what? But what other games have you played over the last couple of years? What have you been doing? I mean, obviously D4, and what else?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I would say there's play and then, you know, stuff that I really make content around, you know what I mean?
Okay.
As you're a content creator, you were talking about your 9 years now, you're familiar with that too. So like, you know, on the main channel, on the TV channel or whatever one you want to call it, the one that's the primary one at this moment, I've had a million of these things. You know, I really kind of only cover like PC ARPGs and I don't really put up too much on the channel outside of that. So it's like a lot of Path of Exile, you know, some Diablo 4, Last Epoch, whatever the ARPG of the moment, you know, really happens to be and what people are checking out recently. But, you know, I've become somewhat more of a live streamer these days. I would say I've been doing a lot more of the live streaming. And because of that, I found myself doing a lot more variety than I'm normally used to on YouTube. You know, kind of on YouTube, when you get YouTube and making videos on YouTube, it's real hard to just, you know, people sub to you because they're watching whatever game. And you're not really going to hit them with a video like, I played Hello Kitty Island Adventure like this day. Like people, you know, they don't really care. So, but on the live stream, it's a little different. Like people kind of watch just to kind of hang out and see what you're up to and, you know, have some background noise like a podcast or something because you're on all day. So I find myself doing a little bit more variety. You know, so I've played everything from, you know, like Baldur's Gate 3 to, you know, I was playing Escape from Tarkov this week, or, you know, I did the Elden Ring playthroughs, and, you know, just I've played a lot of, you know, dozens of games recently. I went on the Escape from Tarkov called the Podcast, where they talk about Escape from Tarkov, and or actually, it was a different podcast. Actually, after it was Spooker and Traffic, where they pulled up data and found out I had played.
And this that is talking about, it is definitely a luxury that you get over time. So once you start building up that, you know, reputation, the trust, I would say that more than the reputation, it is the trust. Once you gain the trust of the audience, and they feel like they like to hang out with you, they like to watch content with you, they like to just come and chill or discuss the game or discuss like whatever is the topic. I feel like that's so important, and because like in the long term, especially when it comes to streaming, I feel like is super important, because stream for like 4 hours, you stream sometimes for 6 hours. It is extremely hard to actually make a 4-hour stream just based on one topic or one idea or even one game. So over time, obviously, your ideas will start running out, and hopefully by then you experience and you build up a good community and good reputation that can actually let you to go and deep dive into, like, look at him, Game of Thrones, this new game was an ad I saw there, Elden Ring Marathon, the new Elden Ring expansion. Then we have here, I don't know, Corpunk, I don't know which one is this, Tarkov, Path of Exile. So he's doing definitely very, very well. And this is a result for years of creating content and people now trusting him.
Played 229 games on Twitch.
Oh, wow.
And so, you know, the answer to your question, how, you know, what games you've been playing lately, the answer would be kind of a lot. But in terms of like what I've been like covering, primary is like a YouTube Andy or content creator stuff, like, you know, ARPGs, kind of in the same genre.
Yeah. All right. So now we're being pretty subtle here, but let's be honest. When you switched from Diablo Immortal, you were a successful full-time content creator, the biggest content creator for Diablo Immortal. You left, and you left me as the biggest guy. Thank you so much for giving me the top of the mountain. I appreciate that. But it was handed to me by you. But you saw massive success, man. Let's talk about that, because you saw the most success, the quickest I've ever seen happen to someone that I actually know. You started a brand new, so you started with, and I'm showing your channels as we go. You have your now DM Clips channel, which used to be your DM Diablo Immortal channel. You haven't uploaded there in a while, but that's where,
like 9 months or something.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, it's crazy how long it's been. But yeah, that was all your Diablo Immortal stuff. You decided to stop on this channel and to start up a brand new channel, which was DM Diablo 4, which is now Darth Microtransaction TV, and you saw massive growth. So you were able to live stream on Twitch, you had the horse drops, you had Blizzard partners, so you had the game a little bit early, you had a great position there, and
That's a perfect storm for sure.
What's that?
So it was a perfect storm for sure. I got a lot of luck, that kind of all came together the same way.
But dude, it wasn't all luck because you also grinded and no-lifed the hell out of that game. And while you were no-lifing it, you weren't just learning it, you were also putting out content on it at the same time, which is where you excel. And actually something that I've learned from you over the past couple of years being friends with you, how to do that, because that's something I never did before.
You're embarrassing me here, Echo. This is a little too high a praise for a casual chat here.
Dude, this needs to be heard, man. I mean, so enough of the, I'm going to stop, praising you too much, but essentially you went...
like everyone, and to be clear, everyone that covered Diablo 4 saw explosive growth. Like
that's
I definitely
not
was
true,
not
dude.
The only one. Like tons of dudes did.
That's not true. There are tons of content creators that left Diablo Immortal that now no longer make content at all. We don't need to throw any names out there, but you are the one that left Diablo Immortal and saw success. So, I
will say that they are both in the right. What Echo is saying that Darth Microtransaction definitely saw the biggest and explosive growth. One of the key things is not only his personality, the way he approaches the guys, the way he was just honest about it, but he also got, that Asmongold, he reacted to one of his videos, and that drove so much more flux of players that, because Asmongold, even though he covers a bit of gaming here and there, we all know that he's mainly a React Andy, and then he plays a bit of games and all these things. So in the middle of the hype, you are growing, all right? The Darth Microtransaction was growing, and then on top of that, you get this nitro boost of all of a sudden you get this big flux of viewers coming into your channel. That's huge. That's huge. We actually have a perfect example. Recently, there was this girl called the Background NPC. She made a video talking about female characters. That video got clipped, a short version, put it on Asmongold Reddit. Asmongold reacted to it, uploaded on his main channel, and this girl she was with 400 views on that video and 300 subs. And in 3 days, she got 100,000 subs. I think she's now sitting at 140. So that's definitely the power of reaction whenever you have a huge big content creator that can be Asmongold or any other. As long as it's bigger than you, it will always, as long as your channel is ready and you are ready to take all in that flux of viewers and you don't change your mind or you don't change yourself, but you're ready to take all the traction, you can see explosive growth on the channel, which is exactly what also happened to me. But 100% merit for Darth Microtransaction, man. I used to watch more whenever I was not a creator. I used to watch his stream all the freaking time, man.
Don't need to talk anything crazy here, but you went from being a grinder YouTuber, kind of like what I am right now, making a living, paying your bills, but grinding to get there, to being to getting it to be an explosive growth where you went in a short amount of time. You got yourself your play button for the new YouTube channel. Talk to me a little bit about the type of growth that you saw, whatever you're comfortable with here, and how it actually felt. Because really,
it's like those things that luck is made. You gotta be a bit lucky, but you gotta prepare yourself, and it's right place, right time, right attitude, right content, and sometimes it just clicks, man. I mean, in a very small version, I had that with the auto build, right? It was my first video. Somehow it popped the fuck on. That video exploded. I mean, exploded for Diablo Immortal context and for the brand new channel. And I was very glad for that, and now we're here. And that's what happens also with the, we have these multiple pop-offs that you need multiple moments like that to keep growing your channel. That's so important.
That's the dream, right? You reached that dream point, and I want to know how it felt, what it was like, And was it really that great of a dream after all, since you reached it?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess, okay. So I'll try to answer your question because you can ask anything you want. I'm open book here, but okay. So,
Yeah, open it up, bro.
what was the first question? You said three things there. I
Yeah,
forgot what was the first one you meant.
So what was it like to start a new channel, which you were probably nervous as heck about in the first place, to do something new
Sure.
and kind of leave the old one behind, and to see that type of growth so quickly? Dude, you could just refresh your page and see that you're gaining, like, you know, big numbers.
At the time, it slowed down a lot, and
Of course.
stuff now. But sure. I mean, where to start, dude? You say, okay, we talk about nerves. I mean, when I was covering them more though, actually, was quite enjoying the game I was in. Like you're saying, I was in a good position there and all that. But like, refusal to try new things is the death of self. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, it's like, okay, well, I gotta, I only had success in the more though because I tried it. So it's like I'm gonna try something new. So yeah, it was kind of nervous trying something new when you're already like comfortable, for sure.
Yeah.
But the nerves too, if I'm being quite honest, were kind of more than just that. Like I think I only had like $4,000 or something to my name, like, and I still owed taxes, for the year. Like at the time when I was swapping, and I think I was making like 2 or 3 grand a month or something, like off of it more though, right? At the time when I was swapping, right? And so like to be real with you, I needed that income. So like
So Darth Microtransaction, you was doing 2,000 to 3,000 in AdSense at the time. I think right now in AdSense, I'm actually gonna see, because I'm gonna try to compare it. Maybe at the time also, because like Diablo Immortal was quite new. Maybe there was like more people, or at least more companies interesting on sponsoring like the video. I can say here that I mean, like, I can share you with you guys, right? Like in the past months, my channel did like 1,400. So if he's doing $2,000 to $3,000, it means like he's probably like doing 2.5 to 3,000. Yeah, it's quite a lot, man. It's quite a lot. It's probably like each channel has the double of the viewership as me, right? It is a lot. It is actually a lot. Also, I need to have in mind, this was in the time that we had so many more players. Okay, we have so many more players in Diablo Immortal than we have right now. I think I still do good, right? But obviously the growth, if you ever go to a channel that it is new, it is popping off, people are excited, a lot of eyeballs, you will do it. Remember Abu, guys, Abonis, he recently with the Terry's Land, he got this video, a tier list that he pop on, got like 140,000 viewers. 140,000 views. I will like immediately for the next week just do Terry's Land content. I will absolutely do that, because like even if it was going to be like for 1 or 2 weeks, I will just try it out. Because if you're getting like 6,000 to 8,000 views and all of a sudden you get a video that is getting like more than 100x, I feel like it is at least worth the shot. I feel like the problem was that Abu, they didn't like Terry's Land. So I understand that. I don't think I could actually play a game that I don't like it just for content. I think that's a perfect recipe for instant burnout and mental health issues.
Like there's no way that I could like have a miss. Like it had to go well in order to like have any chance of success. No, I didn't know I was going to get, as kind of lucky as I did and have kind of the perfect storm where people were going to be overwhelmingly supportive. So that's kind of why you saw me do a couple videos over the year. Like, things kind of changed for me because they did,
Yeah.
and so I was able to, be a lot more comfortable. I'm still not a millionaire or anything like that, but like it at least made me be able to like not worry about rent anymore. Like I'm good. I'm still renting a house and whatnot. And,
Yeah.
So that, in terms of like the success, that was nice to, have a little bit less of a boot on your throat, I guess. And, I've struggled with that.
Financial stress, guys, it is rough. I think everyone that's been through that knows that it is rough. That's one of the reasons why I grind so hard. That's why I always try, because I mean, I just want to make it, I want to make it, and I want to get out of like this uncomfortable situation that, I'm putting me, my family, my wife, She definitely does not deserve this. And yeah, I work my fucking ass off for it. And so I completely understand what he's talking about. And sometimes you gotta risk to take the biscuit, man.
With other stuff beforehand, so like having one less pressure was kind of nice, to be honest. But like outside of that, like it also kind of was like not what I thought it was going to be quite honest with you. Like it's super cool to like see the numbers and like, oh my God, it's working. You know, it's like, you know, the scene from like Batman where the Joker's like, I'm like a dog. I didn't know what I would do if I catch it. You know, it's like, that's kind of what happened. So it's like, oh shit, like the YouTube dream of like, green number good, like everything is going well. Like people are loving the videos. The comments are all positive. People seem to think my videos are really helping them.
Yep.
Financially, it's helping. Like everything kind of comes together.
Yep.
Like, it's all good. But then also it's kind of hard feeling to describe. But I had people like recognize me and shit all at once. So like I remember one time I was on a plane and the guy literally walks down the plane, like on the plane to like tap me on the shoulder and be like, oh, I recognize your videos. Like, you're such a nice guy or whatever. And so I was like, oh, that's great. And so it's like, you have these moments where I was just like, oh, this is like surreal. Like people are actually, and like I say, it's died down a lot, more now, but at the moment they're like, you got Asmon reacting and all these people. And it seemed like the whole fucking world was watching me during that month, for whatever reason. And so like, that was
the stars aligning,
that
man.
was kind of crazy. And then, as time goes on, it calms down, and then you only see, you only see like a percentage of the moment. So then you got to kind of like, reality check for a moment. Like the game is a pop off and everyone sees you, but then like, you're not going to just forever. Like I'm not going to 30 million YouTube subs and like own a fucking yacht and I'm the next Mr. Beast. Like you're going to, it's like, oh, hey, this guy. And then, people get bored and move on or whatever. You have a certain percentage of the audience that stays, etc. And so it's like, from there, it's kind of like, the way I always describe it is it's not flying, it's falling in style. Like Buzz Lightyear would say, you're just kind of like, coasting for a bit and try to relax. And so from there, there was a certain amount of time which I was like, well, what do I do now? You know what I mean? And I realized, well, just relax. Like just, it took like a year or more to get there to realize that. Yeah. But it's just, relax and play games and have fun.
Obviously in a minor scale, but whenever you go that high, still like there are always like these milestones that you have as a creator. It can be like subscribers, hitting your first 1,000 because it's gonna be able to get you subscribed, monetize on the channel. Then you have like 10,000 subs is also cool. Then probably it's like 100,000 subs. But the reality is what it matters is when it comes to the views. The views are in all those metrics, like the watch time, the everything, like you see like so high. YouTube Studio, it's made in a way that it is absolutely gamification, and even though you made it, it still feels bad if you output a video that is not performing and you see like these red arrows, man. Like you see these red arrows, like it's not performing at all, or oh my god, like this month people didn't watch as much my videos, or am I falling off? Like you always have like this constant self-doubt, and that's why for me, even though I had a design agency in the past and I on all these things, man, YouTube for me, it is absolutely more stressful than that because it is a 24/7 thing. And every day it is a challenge, and every day it is like, am I gonna make it or am I gonna falling off? And it's quite stressful.
Fun, and then cover what you want to cover, and try to keep as genuine, as authentic as you can, and have fun with it, and do stuff like what I'm doing now, like keep talking to your friends and whatnot.
I think
that was interesting. There's other stuff that came with it, but it's I guess topic for another conversation.
Yeah, no, I mean, so you went from doing Diablo Immortal, you started the new Diablo 4 channel. You had to be super careful and successful because of having to pay your bills. And you pretty quickly saw, holy crap, this is working better than I thought it was going to work. Diablo Immortal suddenly got a way back seat because you had to focus all of your time into being relevant in Diablo 4. You were putting out content on YouTube like crazy then and doing live streams. Now on YouTube, you put out a lot less content, and I'm not going to say you're not a YouTuber, because you 100% are. You're still, even with the less uploads, you're still very successful on YouTube. But you stream every day. So when someone asks you, or when you describe what you are, when someone asks me what I do, I tell them
He's living the dream, guys. Whatever you guys are watching here, I always was honest. The reason why I started streaming is because I love to stream. Stream in general, it is a bad financial decision, especially whenever you're trying to kickstart your career and all these things, because it just takes like so much time off your day. So if you don't like to stream or enjoy these, just don't do it. Like, it is way more financially better for you if you actually just pump videos all the time and you become successful at it. The only reason why I do this way is because I'm not trying to become a YouTuber. I know that a lot of people describe me as a YouTuber, but I see myself now and in the future as a streamer. That's what I want to be recognized. I don't want to be the most knowledgeable guy or the guide maker for this and that game. I want to be an entertainer. I want to be a streamer that you guys will like to hang out, that you guys will laugh, that you guys will enjoy to be here and have fun. And that's it. That's like literally my goal. So I feel like looking at DM is just living the life the way he wants it. The next breakthrough will be like a GTA 6. I mean, everyone's going to be on GTA 6, right? I just also feel like it is important for people to play with their own strengths, and I think that's what also Diablo Immortal, Darth Microtransaction did. You know, it made a perfect transaction in this case from Diablo Immortal to Diablo 4, and it made sense. I don't know if for me it will make sense. I never played any GTA except like San Andreas and Vice City. Going to GTA 6, I don't know. I can try it, but I don't know if I can see myself like making content for the game that maybe it's not like my personal taste, you know?
I make YouTube videos. I'm a YouTuber. I still feel weird telling people I'm a YouTuber. I always say I make videos on YouTube. Because, and I do stream also, but I consider myself a YouTuber more. What do you consider yourself? Like, how do you describe yourself? Are you a streamer or a YouTuber? What do you do?
50-50. I do both. I mean, you know.
Yeah, it does both.
The YouTube is as important as the Twitch. You know, they're two sides of the same coin, really. Mm-hmm. The only problem is it's like, you know, you're not going to just upload videos of you like cooking a steak or something. I mean, like maybe you are, but like
you did.
You know, not every day, right? Yeah, I did that once. So it's like, you know, when there's nothing to talk about, like I just don't want to pump out a bunch of dog shit. So I just tend to like only upload when I have something to say or there's like a video or something to actually be made there. So I try to do that a lot more. And then a lot of these games that I've been trying.
And also it does this because it just has more financial freedom now. Also, maybe the games are being out for a long time that there's not as many news to actually talk about. And that's why I was saying like in Diablo Immortal, if you want to create content every day, it is pretty hard, but I feel like in Diablo 4 or any of like these Diablo ARPGs for PC, it is even harder because it's like you have these huge pop-off on whenever the seasons are announced or the season comes, then people play for like 1 or 2 weeks and then the hype dies out, and then you have like these dry, is literally like 2 or 3 months with dry content. Maybe they're gonna put like a build here and there, but there's just not like that much information. In that sense, Diablo Immortal is actually better, even though, you know, it is a small mobile game that we, you know, have to make here some magical ideas to sometimes like being able to keep, you know, that daily upload. But even if you miss like 1 or 2 days, it is completely fine if you just don't have anything to say.
You know, there's already like experts and stuff for, so like I typically don't just like farm like a lot of, you know, there's kind of a, in the ARPG and Path of Exile and stuff, there's kind of like an aura around just making dog shit videos just for the sake of like farming views. Like you know, you try to not do that for like, because people get roasted out of the community all the time for making like build guides and stuff that like are just terrible just because you want to farm the SEO, or someone like searching for best build guide Path of Exile or whatever. Like those people get kicked out of the community very quickly. So even though I've been I've got thousands of hours in these games and stuff now, and I'm like learning them, and and the Path of Exile 2 primarily. So I've been playing, like, I've got, as many hours as anybody. Like I tend not to, farm too many of those videos until I actually, have learned the game fully. So because of that, I find myself making less.
Also, like Path of Exile in general, it is most likely the most complicated, complex game that there is on the ARPG genre. So you have these guys that have like thousands and thousands of experience in Path of Exile 1, that obviously they are transitioning into Path of Exile 2, but still the core of the game in a lot of aspects, it is still the same, and there's a lot of knowledge that gets carried from one game to the other. So for example, if in the future there is a Diablo Immortal 2, obviously a lot of, even if there is like different mechanics in these, a lot of the things of the card things of the game will definitely translate to it and get an advantage. So this is a perfect example of, like, DM being self-aware of his strengths and weakness, and he just, is comfortable, and it feels like I don't want to just put dog shit content, so I just get like that, extra revenue. It's probably doing very, very well. In my opinion, I think it's more monotonous in the meta builds. There is so much instances. The problem of CB, I understand what you're saying. The problem is like not a lot of people are interested on that, and there's also another big flaw when it comes to Diablo Immortal. The meta builds are so much better than the off meta ones. Like, it's not even close. It's like one is playable. Meta usually means like it is like I'm playing with the best of the best, and I'm just like smashing, So if you're gonna play with a battle mage wizard and you actually take the time to learn that build, it is a very, very strong build. It is, even though I like to play the CC wizard, that battle mage build, it is so freaking strong. And obviously, people just want to play the best builds, the best classes. How many times you heard me here on the stream? People come into the chat and ask, what is the best class to do X? What is the best class for free to play? What is the best, or what is the best build? Like, that's what people are searching for, and that's what people want. A lot of times I say, if you're just starting the game, just pick whatever you want and have some fun. Later on, you can deal with that thing. But people don't want that. It's just like the way also gaming and the audience and the players, like this is how people play. People, before even installing the game, they are already watching a beginner's guide. They are already, before even they create the character, they already know which is the best character. This is the way it is nowadays. That's like literally the way, modern gamers are, and a big thing is because content, it is super available. And maybe in the 90s, you had to go, if you had a doubt on the game, you had to call like this call center or whatever you had to do, right, to get your doubts solved.
Videos, but to go back to your original question of whether I consider myself, it's
yeah, meta builders also save time, right?
I don't normally tell people like too much in person. Like if someone asks or something I do, I'll answer, but like, it depending upon the context, a lot of times you tell me you work in marketing or something, because or else they're gonna have like, oh, what you make videos on? Oh, I make videos on video games. Oh, you can make a living doing that? Yeah, I make a living doing that. And then they're like, oh, how much money do you make? And it's just like, they just immediately.
This is such a barber talk, man. This is such a barber talk. Every time you say you're a YouTuber or a streamer or something, like, it is so cliche, this, especially if someone that does not understand like how it is things nowadays.
Ask you a million extremely too personal questions. So I tend to
what is your YouTube channel?
Depending upon the person, I'll answer that question.
They ask you all those too personal questions that I'm asking you here today, basically.
No, you're good. You're good. You're my friend already. You can ask me what you want, but strangers on the other end.
I know, man. I know. Well, so you're live every day over on Twitch. What have you been playing lately? It's Tarkov, the shooting game. What else have you been playing lately, or is that really?
Path of Exile 2, Escape from Tarkov. There's something else I played recently, but it escapes my memory. Path of Exile 1 is having a new league here coming up on June 13th. So be playing that for sure. And then I kind of bounced between the PC ARPGs and check them out. Diablo 2 had a new project Diablo 2 patch drop, but I kind of skipped out on that one. But there's a couple other ARPGs I'm still going to try.
That's really cool, man. I mean, that's as a YouTuber, at least in the shoes of most content creators on YouTube, I know that you're not kind of stuck in this box anymore, but you know, if I put stuff on this Diablo Immortal channel that really don't revolve around Diablo Immortal, I get penalized for it. Like I can't do it.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm envious of you being able to just whip up a stream on Twitch and play whatever the hell you want, and you're still going to have your viewers there supporting you, and that's really cool. How does it feel to be able to not be, I mean, you played Diablo Immortal for 2 years every day, streamed it, made videos on it. That was your bread and butter. That was your primary thing. How does it feel to not have to be so locked in?
I mean, it doesn't, to be honest with you, bro, it doesn't really feel that different.
Really?
Because like, you know, yeah, because I mean, we still have a job to do. Like we're still gonna, I still got to make videos. I still got to turn the live stream. Like, I mean, you know, we're working, but we get to play video games for a living. So it's like the only thing that's really changed, like really, is what game I'm playing. Like it's not, there's nothing else about.
It's like the game is playing and the scale, right? It is definitely probably. I was saying that it is stress-free financially, but I also can say that, you know, there's two sides of the coin, right? Like with a higher viewership, the higher the pressure you're most likely gonna feel. That you're gonna have to perform, or that you're gonna have to, you know, to bring the best so people, you know, can stay and can enjoy your stream and all these things. Personally, I usually stream without, you know, the viewer count. Sometimes I go and I check it out, but the main reason is because imagine like we are popping off and we have like 100 viewers, and then all of a sudden we have like 60 viewers like on live on stream. I was like, okay, maybe now I'm garbage. Like, what is happening? Like, and I just don't want to have these thoughts. But I can like really imagine that if you are that successful, definitely you're gonna have new problems that you didn't have. You know, like I feel like life, it is all about just problem solving. You know, you solve one problem, you know, and you get another. Maybe some. I'm gonna be honest. Some problems are better than others. Okay. Some are actually world first problems, right? Like if you're trying to figure out how to get money at the end of the month to pay for the rent or for the food, that's a very bad problem. But if your problem is like, what game am I gonna play next? Or, you know, oh, I'm feeling stressed, like this video is not performing as well. Maybe I have to change the thumbnail. Oh, I have like this. Like these are the good problems that I think that a creator can have later on in his career. But I mean, I only been doing this for 9 months. So I'm still like, I will consider myself a baby. Like Echo has been doing this for 9 years. And Darth Microtransaction also been doing this for probably like 7-8 years. So these are the big boys, man. And I enjoy also to watch these. And I can see that you guys also probably do, because, you know, there's always learning lessons here.
About my life has really changed, other than like I'm renting a 3-bedroom house instead of a 1-bedroom cabin. Like, you know, it's the same shit. Like I wake up in the morning and I log on and I play video games all day. And then I'll go.
And instead of streaming for, you know, 5 of 10, 50 or 100 viewers, now he streams for 1,000, right?
Oh, hang out with my girlfriend, we'll play video games on our iPad or whatever and watch TV. And then we go to bed. Yeah. And it's Groundhog Day, you know, put your little hand in my cup again, and I hit the alarm, and then right back. I'm still playing video games all day. Like it kind of really is. It's not really that much different, to be honest with you.
So it's like me looking at it as the grass is just always greener on the other side, but really it's not not as different.
I would say it is richer, you know. I think it's richer, but your routine, the work, the ethic, it is still the same. If I become successful as a streamer, I will still have to sit my ass here and do the stream. Just the difference is going to be that we're going to have more viewers.
Different. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, little bit. Like but you know, I would have thought. Okay, like to give you an idea. Okay, so when before I did YouTube ever, I was playing a game called Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. I had started making YouTube videos, and I saw these guys like Mobile Gamer and Arnold and these guys, and I'm like, these must be like these asshole gigantic YouTuber, you know, fucking douchebags, whatever. And then, you know, you start talking to these guys, you start making videos yourself, start talking to them, they're just dudes like playing games or whatever. And then, when I was doing, mobile games or whatever, I look at the PC guys or the dudes on Twitch or whatever that have tons of viewers and all that, and they're just like, oh, these fucking guys must be these big, live streamers. They're, doing, and then you do it, and you're like, it's the same shit. The only thing that changes is the number.
Yeah.
Like, we're all doing the same
Exactly.
thing. Like, the guy who wakes up and makes a video for 5 viewers is doing the same thing, that me or you are doing. Like, it's
That's
nothing's
a
really
harsh
changed.
truth.
That's true.
Exactly, what I said, because it is exactly true. The routine will still be the same. And that's why, even though I try to give feedback, it is just because for the creator, the effort of doing a video that is gonna get you 300 views, 500 views, 1,000 views, 10,000 views, 100,000 views, or 1 million views, it is not much difference. It is not. And definitely there are things that we can learn along the way, but 100%, it is closer than we actually can think whenever you're starting out.
I mean,
aiming.
Yeah, I agree. You're still the same guy you were when you were a smaller creator before you had your explosion. I have many friends that have, millions of subscribers that I've met over the years, and they're, like you're saying, they're just dudes. They're just literally
everyone's just a dude,
Just a dude,
I've met
man.
tons of people now, and everyone's just a guy playing game. Like, no one, it's never like everyone's super chill. They're all guys. They're just.
Also, it comes like from that perspective of looking up. You look up to these guys. You wish that one day you're gonna be there. You praise them. You put them on this pedestal. And then if one day you actually meet them and then all of a sudden you just like are having a super normal conversation and you're just chilling together and you realize that, oh shit, this actually is not that different.
All just trying to get through their life and have fun.
Trying to live that dream. I mean, I remember back in the day, I would, I don't want to say when I was a smaller content creator, but when I was a younger content creator, not 9 years into this whole YouTube game, you'd look up to some of these people and you'd be so, kind of like you see an actor, right? Like starstruck, or, you're just, I can't believe that I'm talking to this person. Then, but then as you get a little bit more seasoned, you realize that everyone's just a person, and you get along with those people, or maybe they're not your cup of tea, but at the end of the day, they're all the same. Yeah, that's funny, dude. Do you miss Diablo Immortal at all in any way? Like, why?
Sometimes. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, yeah.
You just saying that because you're on my Diablo Immortal channel and you don't want people yelling at you?
I mean, like people that watch my live stream, I've constantly not really defended the game, but like my take has remained the same. Like, because people always trash on Immortal. Like when I was making videos, people would go in my comments to my videos and be like, how are you supporting this piece of shit pay to win game? You're the problem of the game, all this stuff, right? And it's like my take has remained the same with it. Like since I've played it, like, oh yeah, the pay to win's atrocious, the rest of the system's dog shit, but the game is like basically good. Yeah. Like outside of that, right? And I kind of think it's the same thing. Like they basically
and the thing is, like, usually this take only comes from people that actually gave a shot to Diablo Immortal. Because before I started to also play, I thought that it was a dog shit pay-to-win game. I was not gonna enjoy, and oh well, here we are, right? So being humble goes a long way. Yeah, I feel like that's also like one of like the biggest thing. I feel like if you go watch like a stream that I did like 5 months ago, or something like that, maybe I'm more comfortable and obviously more confident as a creator, but I feel like I still echo the same principles and the same things.
Basically, they have a pretty solid game. Like, I don't know how many mobile games.
And also, if I ever start changing, I want you guys to call out, okay? That's important to me because, especially this community that we're building here on the live chat, it is definitely the one that, I don't take preference, but, like I pass more time with most of you guys here on the live stream than a lot of people in real life. So I cherish a lot, like, you guys' opinions, and I hope that we are just here for the long run.
There's people that are watching this or in the play. I'm assuming a lot because we're all on the mobile game channel here, but it's like a lot of mobile games are really, really ass. I mean, like really dog shit. You know what I mean? And so it's like you get a game that's like pretty solid. It's it's kind of nice because, every day I'm sitting in bed in my iPad, I'm flipping through like, oh, I wonder what's new on there. It's like, oh, dog shit, dog shit, dog shit, dog. Like, this is all just like you can't find something to play that isn't just spammed with ads and is different than advertised or just garbage. So, Immortal was not like a bad, mobile game.
Yeah.
And so because of that, I do.
If you put it in the brackets of mobile game, bro, absolutely is the king. Is the king in this genre, dark fantasy, ARPG. There is nothing. There's nothing that, like, guys, I check, okay? I try to actively find new games. I saw the Odin game. I looked at it. Nope. Nah, this looks like just another Asian game or Chinese game that I'm not gonna enjoy it. Probably it's gonna be very spammy and no, skip it. Then there was like the Game of Thrones, the new one. That one, it is like a mix between like Elden Ring, but it didn't feel like I could do a channel just covering that game. It doesn't really feel that way. Maybe I'm completely wrong. There was like Throne and Liberty also feels like a skip to me. Terry's Land, Terry's Land doesn't look that bad, but that game feels like it's so dead in the water. I'm not gonna trade a dead game for even more than game, okay? If we're gonna ever switch games, obviously it's gonna be for a game that is gonna be new. People are hyping it. People are gonna enjoy to play with it, and it is gonna be a smooth transition. Because it's like, why would I leave? Why would I play something else that is gonna be worse than Diablo Immortal, that I'm not gonna enjoy to play it, and people are not fucking excited about? I tried in December. And December is actually a pretty cool game. The problem with it is a copy paste of like Path of Exile, and there is no hype about it. But the game itself, it is actually good. It is actually good.
Miss it sometimes. Plus, they always, like I said earlier, they kind of always have events and stuff going on. Like, you realize the PC games are great and they're higher quality. And a lot of times they don't have to pay to win and stuff in. But then, like, at the same time, they have their own problems. That can take months and months and months and months and months to fix. And the cadence of the mobile delivery system, because they're live service and you kind of can't lose the people that are playing, it was a lot faster. So I do kind of miss that sometimes also, like how quickly you're actually getting changes and updates and patches and stuff like that. It's just, you're getting some news a week or something, the news was a lot faster. And so, you'll go, Path of Exile 1 is having their next league right now. And this is an exception of the rule, but it's going on 11 months here. And they're finally having a new league, and typically it's 4 months or something between leagues. So, I mean, you're talking large periods of time.
Yeah.
Between
and your only option, I feel personally, when it comes like to these ARPGs, is to actually diversify. Like, you play the Diablo 4 season, then you try to play Last Epoch season, then you try to play PoE, and then you start to try to hit like these seasons. The major issue with this is that this is like only exclusive for first the people with personality, the ones with authority on the space, and the ones that already have a big community. That it is actually, imagine this: if you have 10,000 people watching you, and they watch you because you're playing Diablo 4. Whenever you switch to Path of Exile, maybe half of your audience is not gonna be there, but you're still gonna have 4,000 or 5,000 viewers. That's still a lot of viewers, right? Like, we're talking about still 4,000 to 5,000. It is half of the viewership, but it's still like a lot of people. But if you're streaming Diablo 4 for 30 people, and then you go and you try to stream Path of Exile, you're probably going to end up like with 4 or 5 viewers, and that's going to feel like shit, because the speed of the chat, like the chat and the streamer, it's like we are one, okay? You guys bring more to the stream that a lot of times actually gives credit. Having a good chat, good chatters, actually makes the life of the live streamer way better, and it overall improves the whole experience for the 90% of the viewers that are watching. So, because 90% of the viewers, they will not type anything. They are viewers. But chatters are such an important core, because you may not be you are watching the stream, maybe you're reading like this small chat here down below, or you're seeing it like on your phone or whatever it is. And for me, as a viewer of live streams, I love to read the chat while watching the stream. That's like the way I enjoy it. Pay to win games are actually good for the YouTubers because they are willing to pay the game. They are willing to pay for the subscription. Yeah, that's also true. There's also true, but I feel like either way, I know what you're saying. You mean like the audience may be more pay to win than others. But at the same time, I feel like also in PC gamings, people are willing to buy the games, okay? So if they are willing to buy the games, they are also willing to pay for a Twitch sub or a membership. Like PC games, they're going to cost like 60 euros or 70 euros sometimes, right? So either way, you will always going to be, and you're always going to have viewers that are going to join the membership and support the stream. Or you're going to see the majority, they just going to watch, they're going to watch the ads and they're going to support the stream with their time, with their chat in a different way. And that's pretty much it.
I guess you have no choice but to play more than one game in that case as well.
Yo, that's great. Thank you so much, man, for being here.
You have no choice. That is fun, though. And I know your stance from back in the day, and it's cool to hear that it stayed the same. I mean, I'm just happy that you came back on, man, because I've never seen someone missed from a community the way that I've seen you missed from the Diablo Immortal community. Now, I do live here every day, right? But it's not often that I don't hear your name come up on a fairly regular basis about, why did DM leave? DM ditched us and you didn't, or we missed DM, right. Or it comes in all different forms. But so I'm really happy that you were able to come on.
Nostalgia is very strong.
A bit. I think there's going to be a lot of people that really didn't know what happened to you that now, as like a 3-year anniversary of Diablo Immortal, you get a little gift of DM back, and are going to like to hear about how.
Like, low-key, guys, the only way I see Darth Microtransaction coming back to the game, it's one. And this is the most likely. It gets sponsored. But I feel like at this stage, the budget for DM, it is pretty high. Unless he makes a discount and he says, you know what? I have some emotional attachment to this game. Probably they're gonna make me play Druid and I'm good. But I don't think this will ever happen. I don't think so. It will be insane if he did. I feel like it will be crazy. It will be crazy, Crazy for like positive and maybe even negative for him. But either way, he's now in a position that he can do almost whatever he wants. So if he ever comes, we're gonna be here, open arms to receive him, right? And I feel like it will be such a hype thing, man.
What you're doing.
I hope people don't think I ditched them, because it's like, boys, I try a new game and it went well, and I just kept making videos on it the same way as when Diablo Immortal went well. I kept making videos on that, and
you know how it is. Man. You know how it is.
It's like you gotta do what you gotta do, and I kind of, miss the game because the community is great and all that, and I feel like it got a bit of
the community is pretty cool.
So much drama on it from the release, with like the whole "don't you have phones" thing and all that. And I'm kind of sick of like the constant. Like I had this string of like Immortal was like, don't you have phones and all the drama related to pay to win, and then Diablo 4 is like D4 bad is like basically like a meta meme now at this point. So it's like one to another, and then Path of Exile 2, like the last league, was some of the worst reception I've ever seen. It was mostly negative on Steam and stuff. So it's been like on multiple games, like trying the new things from one to the other, and it's like, man. Unlucky, dude. You know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of a bummer to sometimes see how the reception goes. Bad reps can happen to some of these games, but
even some with some of the biggest names and some respected, like people that don't love Diablo or Blizzard, they love Path of Exile or Grinding Gears. So it's funny to hear that it happens to both companies and IPs, really.
It happens to all. I think more where I'm expressing
in general
is
it is modern gaming. Modern gamers are modern complainers, Karens. Okay, like we know this, and especially the more invested you are in the game, with your time, emotionally, also financially, the more of that Karen side is gonna come out of you, and you're just gonna become, complaining all the freaking time. I feel like here on this stream, I try to have, a fair judgment. I think we should praise whenever, we should praise Blizzard for whenever they do good. I think we also should be critical and say whenever it's not. Like, for example, the new code that they just gave, I feel like it is unacceptable if that's the 3rd anniversary code. I feel also the 3rd anniversary in general, it is not really that acceptable, man. Like, it is the 3rd anniversary of the game, and it's like, I seen more hype for the, maybe whenever we had the crafting update, than I see for this. What are the rewards for the players that been, putting up with a lot of bullshit of playing Diablo Immortal? What are the rewards of playing this game for 3 years? Or even 2 years or 1 year? Doesn't matter whenever you started the game. I feel like, like literally, I never played a game, or especially a mobile game, that had this lower level of hype, man. Lower level of hype when it comes to a 3rd,
It's just kind of exhausting, I mean, it's like it seems like it's a whole other topic, but it
what's
seems
up,
like
Echo?
games are either overwhelmingly loved, like Expedition 33, or they're overwhelmingly hated, and there's never really like the mixed reviews for Night Rain are some of the most like fair. It's like, okay, I get that, like that's probably a mixed review, what I mean? But not very often do you see kind of like balanced takes. It's just kind of like full send one way or another.
Yeah.
And so it's that part can get kind of tiring. I found from like playing a variety of games in the last couple of years is the everyone, I'd say the audience is really, it's just the gamers in general, myself included. You get it's so volatile is the word that I would say, that it can be a little, it's like, everyone just calm down, just video games.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that's really what it is. It's video games and playing something that you enjoy, and you're trying to make a living off of it as well. Dude, I miss having...
Yeah, but I feel like at the same time, right, players are super passionate, and that's why, like, sometimes we literally need to disconnect like that core, like that emotional attachment to the game. But it is hard because you are so invested in it. You put like so many hours of your time, maybe even months or years. Some they put up thousands of dollars, and you just want it to be successful. You just want it that your problems that you have in the game, they get fixed. And some problems, they are never gonna get fixed. Some of them, they get fixed, and whenever they do, it is big hype. I feel like in the past year, we had a few W's from Blizzard. Definitely, they made the game better in a few ways, but I still feel like there's so much more that can be done. And until then, I'm gonna be here. I'm sure Echo is also going to be here to not only call out Blizzard whenever there's some bullshit, but also to praise Blizzard whenever they are actually doing something good.
Having you in the community so much for Diablo Immortal, just because I don't get to talk to you as much, and we don't get to, throw together our little quick videos together and all of that. I don't get to travel to Blizzard and see you anymore, but those are all selfish reasons. I'm super proud of you and excited for how your life has changed, and a little bit less stress on the daily on how you're going to keep life together, and you're just seeing more success. So I'm super happy for you. And I love that when I pop on the Twitch, man, I always see something different getting played. Maybe you're playing some old shitty action RPG and you're like, this game's actually pretty good. I don't remember what that was, but that was a month or so back, maybe 2 months back. You're playing something random. I just love that. I never know what I'm gonna get to see you playing when I dive into one of your streams. So it's a nice new DM that I get to experience on.
Yeah, it's more chill, guys.
It's good. It's good to have a moment to chat with you too, dude. I kind of always wonder how everyone's.
I feel like I also follow like multiple phases of DM. I've been following him like since Diablo 4, literally. And I watch him during like the phase of Diablo 4, of course, like a Path of Exile, and from time to time I still go there, and I still feel like even if it is like a different game, I think the vibes are still the same. And I feel like that's like what is important as a streamer. It's like whenever you have an identity and then whenever you are trying to make a stream, you want to go for a certain type of vibe. You know, it's like the vibe check, right? Some people will join this stream, they will vibe with the, you know, with me, with the chat, with whatever we consume, with the game, with the videos, whatever. Other people won't, and that's pretty much it. But what I can tell you is, like, most likely if you come here in 1 year, I mean, maybe we're gonna be playing Diablo Immortal or anything else, but me myself, I try to be as transparent as I can, and a lot of times maybe that actually hurts me, maybe in or outside of streaming, but that's just the way I like to do. I like to do things in a honest, positive, hyped, friendly, funny way, and that's the vibe I want, and that's the vibe that I try to cultivate here on this stream and on this community.
It's doing over there. Like I think about it more though, probably more often than a lot of the other games that I've covered over my years. The two I
it's
think
because
about
of
Star
the
Wars
community.
Galaxy Heroes, and then probably Immortal would be the second. Like those, because the Galaxy Heroes are the first one, and Immortal was the one where like you kind of had to have a clan and a community in order to actually beat it.
I think that's pretty cool
and push together and all that, and that was fun. I really wish they would bring that aspect to more games, because I kind of miss. That's what I liked about MMORPGs.
It's not easy to replicate what Diablo Immortal did. I played multiple games, most of them are single player. I think that's just like my hot take. I feel like the warband system, more than the clans, because like there are other games like the World of Warcraft also has, you know, it has its own like clan system. You know, clans has been around the block for a very long time. So it's not like he brought any innovation on that. The innovation was like, now you have like this clan that it has like a major goal, and the goal it is to actually become an immortal. But I feel like a big subset of that, it is like you have this big group and then you have the small groups. And in terms of like the warbands, it is a system that you have 8 and now like 12 people, right? That every day, and or at least every week, you have to come up together, you know, every 2 days. And obviously there are some bad warbands that they just get together like, to do the bosses, like, you know. Others are just like groups of friends. They've been playing, you know, for a very long time. They are still sticking together, and they are still doing, you know, dungeons and the content and all these things together. And I feel that since the Diablo Immortal community, it is so important. I really don't understand like the design's decisions to try to make the Diablo game more and more soloable. You know, because if the game starts becoming more solo, we're gonna lose this community aspect. Absolutely. I feel like obviously, no, the warband it is a big aspect, and I feel like the warband should have more benefits added on top of what it has to incentivize even more people to play with each other. Maybe this is a hot topic, but I feel like it is still a great system.
In particular, with like groups and stuff, and a lot of the games I play over the last few years are just basically single-player games, so I kind of miss that.
Diablo does it on a smaller scale, a less overwhelming scale than an MMORPG. But I'm sure that the community is going to love to hear that you miss them a little bit too. If you guys want to let DM know how you're doing, or if you have any questions for him, leave them in the comment section below. And DM, man, you're missed, brother. Not only by me, but by the community. I'm going to leave all of DM's links down below.
This was a great
DM
video,
TV,
guys.
To his old Immortal channel, if you want to check that out, to his Darth Microtransaction channel, and to his Twitch, maybe even your X. You're active on X sometimes, right?
I use the Twitter a pretty decent amount. And we actually just got an editing team together.
Oh, nice.
Like 2 days ago, as a matter of fact, to start uploading videos. Again, on some of these other channels, like clips. And
this is something that I wish in the like what he said, editing team. I'm like, bro, I am literally active looking. If you're here in the chat, if you enjoy my streams, I'm looking for someone that I just needed to do this. I just needed to watch the stream and pretty much put like on timestamps what will be a good clip, what will be a good short, and that's it. If you want to assist me and if you want to help, probably it can even be paid. I'm down to have someone, because I don't have the time to go through the whole stream every day, multiple hours, and try to get the clips, then have to edit them. And you know, in that sense, like my wife actually is now she helps me a lot with the editing aspect, so we're kind of good on that thing. But The other part of like just going through the stream, it is actually a pain in the ass. So if you're interested, like just drop me a DM on the Discord. What a great video, man.
And the OG channel and stuff like
I can't
that.
wait to actually have a you know, like he has an editor team, man. That feels so good.
VODs and all that are starting to be pumped out. I think the first one went out like yesterday.
Good stuff, man. I love to hear it. Thanks for taking the time, man. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to sign off and stop recording, and we're going to go talk more about personal life stuff. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed having DM on. And DM, we appreciate you, brother. Much love, man.
All right, guys, you know what to do. Go there, drop a like, subscribe if you still didn't to our boy Echo.